Hi, Stephen here from Sound of an Ocean Wave, and this is day 21 of the February daily draws. So as we start the weekend, let's see what message we get. And I'll be taking the first card from the Gilded Tarot Royale, followed by an oracle card from the Seasons of the Witch Imbolc Oracle. So let's choose our first card and get the reading underway. Okay, here we go. So we have the Four of Pentacles. So are we seeking some kind of stability in our resources, in our finances? Are we sort of a little bit concerned that we have enough resources and finances to do what we want to do? So we may be a little bit cautious about how we're using them at the minute. We may be restrained. There may be restraint from, being careful about where we place our resources. Often, this Four of Pentacles has sometimes has the negative connotation of greed, of avarice, of clinging on. Sort of you're not having this. That can be a sort of shallow aspect of this card. Under certain circumstances, but it's not the only. To me, it's not the only message this card has. And I think it's more to do with a sense of we want to keep hold of what we've got because we're concerned about our security and that we don't want to give away much needed resources. It's not that we want to keep what we've got because we don't want to share it with anyone. No, sometimes we do. We would like to share it. We would like to give of it, but we're in our minds we've got to think, but I need to use it for this. This needs to be provided for, and this other thing needs provided for. I've got to be careful how I manage where I give it to. It's not that I don't want to give it, but I want to be a bit wiser about where I give it to. So there's a kind of, so it's not miserliness, it's not stinginess, it's not grasping, and it's sort of wanting to be secure and have that solid foundation of our resources to at least have enough for what we need. And I think what it is that if we feel that we allow things to go too much, we won't have enough to provide what we need. It's not that we just want an ever-expanding fortune, or some of us may dream of that, of course. But I think that what this card is coming to say to us today is maybe this is an issue for us. Do I have enough? And it's not just about finances, but of course that comes into it. Do I have enough resources? Physical resources that we can touch and feel. Do I have enough resources within myself, within my physicality? Practical resources that I can, and skills that I can use. And the energy that we have is part of our resources. So maybe what we're trying to do is pace ourselves because we've only got a limited amount of energy to give. And this may be a time to conserve that energy a little bit, to be careful that we don't overextend ourselves with that energy. So if we think of it as energy, as long as we have that generous heart and spirit that's willing, where possible, to give, then we will also receive. But beyond the scope of this daily draw to really go into it as to my view on that. And to be fair, it's something that I struggle with. So and at the moment, this Four of Pentacles seems very much relevant to me. And what it is that we are fearing the next card, which is the Five of Pentacles, where we're isolated and wanting and in need of help, but seemingly not finding it, even though it may be there. So if we don't take care, if we don't have this foundation, if we don't have the right mind with how we manage our resources, we fear we may get into a Five of Pentacles situation and then need the Six of Pentacles, where we need handouts, where we need to be receiving, and we would like to be giving. So I don't believe that this is necessarily a reluctance to give, from the sense that we're not willing to give, which would be an avarice and a miserliness. But no, it's we'd love to give, but we have limited resources, and we would like more of abundance out of which to give, and to both give and receive that flow of resources. So maybe it's to understand the value of what we have, and to prioritize where we place our resources and use our resources. So I think that's what this card is saying. Is just think about where you're placing your time, your energy, your resources, your finances, anything like that. Whatever you're giving of yourself, just stop and think before you do. And is this a wise choice? Is this a necessary choice? Or is there a better option? Is there a better recipient of this giving? So I think that's what this card is coming to ask us, to look at where we are, what we feel we have, any insecurities we may have. And there's a lot going on in the world where people are finding it harder and harder to have the resources to live. And they're having to be a bit more watchful. We are all having to do that. But let's not do it from a place of fear, but let's do it out of a place of wisdom and discernment about the best place, and to see them as seeds. We can even invest a bit of time, a bit of energy as seeds that will grow and give back to us if we place it right. But let's try and use a bit of caution and wisdom and diligence and a sense of responsibility about the management of our resources. That's what I believe this Four of Pentacles is saying. So let's see which oracle card we get to go with that. Milk Moon Witch. So we have the moon, light coming on with the ships. Watch as the tides turn in your favor, weaving the waters within and conjuring unspoken desire. So I think, and the ships there are on the waves and trying to maintain their stability, and we're trying to maintain the stability of our resources. But what this Milk Moon Witch card is saying is the tides are going to turn in our favor. But but for the time being, we need to hang on, keep stable, keep firm, keep a good firm footing. And when the tide turns and, more in our favor, then we may be able to be a bit freer in how we use our resources. That's what I get from these cards today. This is what I believe the message of them is for today. So, okay, that's today's message. I'll be back tomorrow with day 22. Until then, thank you for listening. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again very soon. Okay, bye-bye.